Alright, gangstas. I wanted to do a video about cigarettes, and I was like, I gotta be smoking a cigarette while I do a video about cigarettes. So as many of you know, I am Honduran. So my dad, he's one of the descendants of the Mayans, and he grew up in a tribe there, in Tegucigalpa, and there's like a whole thing there. Well, in Central America, around the Caribbean, is actually the origin of where cigarettes, well, not cigarettes, tobacco use comes from, right? And so a lot of people tell me, oh, that's gross. That's a bad habit. I've tried to quit. And it's funny because one time I was like, you know what, God, if cigarettes are so fucking bad, I'm done with, I'm not gonna buy another pack, da da da. And then literally, like, my cousin gave me a pack, and then I had a coworker who brought me 3 packs of cigarettes, and I was like, okay, I'm listening, universe. And so I did some research because I was like, what is it about them? They feel like medicine to me. Like when my anxiety is going, when my depression, when I'm angry, when I'm happy, when I just ate, whatever the case is, I feel like cigarettes are pretty like fucking prominent in my life. It's ritualistic. Well, my ancestors, 3 to 5,000 years before Jesus was even BC, okay, before Christ, 3 to 5,000 years prior to that, my ancestors were smoking cigarettes, or well, not cigarettes, they were smoking tobacco. Sorry, you know me, I'm a little butthead. But yeah, they were smoking tobacco and using it as burnt offerings to the gods and whatnot. There's also that bit where they sacrifice people for the sun to shine, and with how cold it's been, I've considered. No, I'm kidding. I just kind of wanted to bring in a whole other perspective on tobacco use, how it could actually be really a spiritual practice, and how it's one of those things that, like, for me, like, I've used it in ceremonies, when I was apprenticing under a medicine man. We had to smoke it out of a corn husk, and that was fucking rough. But I probably won't want to do that again. But it was an experience. We were in the sweat lodge. We needed to experience the whole thing. And I would do it again. Actually, I wouldn't want to because it felt like torture, but I would. So, yeah, I don't think cigarettes are gross. And I don't, like, I'm sure that with all the added carcinogens, they're extra bad for you. So I smoke the spirit kinds. I'm not getting paid to advertise. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. But, that's for me, when we did ceremonies, we would use, American Spirit tobacco because it's not, been tampered with a bunch of added chemicals and bullshit. It's just organic tobacco. And I don't know. I've had relationships. Sorry, I'm like shivering, so it's all shaky. I'm cold, okay? Find me a virgin to sacrifice. They don't exist. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so yeah. Sorry, I'm like a fucking chihuahua over here, but I think we come from the same place. Yeah. Anyway, my ADHD all over the fucking board. But smoking can be a very spiritual thing, and when you're praying and you're taking that time in silence to just be outside with the elements and, sending your prayers up through smoke, it can be really cleansing. And I know a lot of people are like, what? But it really is. And my ancestors understood this, like 7,000 years ago. So, it's one of those, it's a thing, okay, guys? And And I think too about the how DNA works and how there's like a memory storage in our DNA that transfers from generation to generation to generation. And within my DNA, even my dad smokes, okay, and within my DNA, I have thousands and thousands of years of tobacco users, and so it kind of feels like home sometimes to be out in the elements smoking a cigarette. And I know a lot of people are like, and I don't give a fuck. I hope you know that. Because I just, for me, it's cultural, it's spiritual, and this body is fleeting. Okay, it's gonna die anyway. It's my soul that is, using this as, don't look at my nails. Okay, I know they're fucked. Yeah, it's like my soul that really connects on to smoke in general. Like, I'm a daughter of the sun. Our tribe was very, very much into the sun. We worship the sun. Yeah, I'm a daughter of the sun. And I'm an air sign. Air feeds fire. So I just feel like I'm at home when I'm around fire, when I've got my incense, my sage, my candles, all that. It's like I feel safer in that environment than I do like around pretty much people. And I don't know. I guess I wanted to give you guys a whole other perspective on, cigarette smoking, because there's such a stigma against it. And, and it's all these fucking lobbyists and shit trying to push their agenda. And yeah, cancer is a thing, and it happens. Also, you have to have the gene for it, or the, something. you have to have like the, don't look at my nails. But yeah, you have to. God, I cannot think of the fucking word. This third dimension fucks me up. I'll tell you what. Like predisposition, I guess, for it. So it's like, I feel like, you could get cancer from pretty much anything. You could get cancer from your fucking microwave. You can die getting hit by a bus. You could spend your whole life not smoking a damn cigarette and you can still die at 25. Guess what? It's kind of, like, we need to have an existential moment and just kind of realize that, like, we should have the freedom to live how we're gonna live while we live, to choose, whatever, like some cultures, like beer is a big thing, right? The Irish, the Vikings, you could even consider it medicinal in some senses. Hell, the monks made it, so like, like some of these things that we see as vices, they actually had a very spiritual origin, and our DNA remembers that origin, and so we are more prone to it. And it's how we connect to our ancestry, on a real. That's how we connect to the beings that were the reason we exist, right? Who were possibly even us, in previous lives. We're probably our own fucking ancestors. Who knows, right? Energy is like fluid, it just transfers constantly. I've been talking about this nonstop, actually. We have evolution within our own lifetimes. Like every 7 to 10 years, every cell in your body regenerates and it's replenished with energy from God knows fucking where, right? And it's the energy that we are that attracts the energy that we become. So, check who you are. Yeah, so I don't know. I wanted to go on this little rant and smoke a cigarette with you guys, and not feel weird about it. That, like I am the high priestess, and by that I mean I am very stoned all the time. I'm sorry, that's stupid. But yeah, it's like, for me, smoking is a very spiritual thing, and cultural, and like I don't see it as like some negative thing, and I feel like it's when you start seeing it as negative, when you start telling your body, oh, if I have this, I'm gonna die. Well, guess what? Your brain controls every cell in your body, right? So if your brain is telling the cells in your body, like, oh, this is bad for us, we're gonna die if we try this, well, guess what? You're going to manifest that because you're speaking to your body. It's been proven, like, through like tests and stuff of people like talking to their body when they're sick, and like, talking to the parts of their body that are sick, and gaining health again, and recovering, regenerating. We have a lot more power over our physical well-being than we give ourselves credit for, right? And don't look at my nails. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to get them fixed. I've been working hard, okay? But yeah, so anyway, I'm pretty much done with my cigarette, and I'm done with this rant. I just I don't know, I wanted to clear up the air with that, like, pun intended. We are what we are, and why not have a vice or two, right? And it's not necessarily like the worst vice you could have. It's not like I'm, on amphetamines. That's pretty fucking bad, right? And I don't know. It's like things like this don't really affect anybody else, because as you see, I'm kind of like out here by myself. Like, ain't nobody out here. But yeah, it's like, and I always keep my cigarette butts, throw them away the right way. I don't litter them. I only pollute the air, okay? But what doesn't? Your farts pollute the air. Okay, let's talk about methane for a second. But yeah, no, just all I'm saying is like, be open-minded, because where you're judging somebody for smoking a fucking cigarette, it's in their DNA. It's like their connection to their ancestors. It could very well be a very spiritual thing for them. And you're sitting there like, oh, you stink. And it's like, well, your attitude stinks, okay? Like, maybe I don't want to be around you while you're in this mode, right? It just be like that. Anyway, I love you guys. Namaste, and I will talk to you on the next video.